On this episode, we're going to paddle mangroves at John Pennekamp State Park in the Florida Keys. Welcome to John Pennekamp Reef State Park, located on the famous island of Key Largo in the Florida Keys. The park was named after John Pennekamp in the 1960s for his activism in protecting the reefs of the Florida Keys. As one of the more visited Florida state parks, it's a very popular destination for divers, kayakers, and outdoor enthusiasts. They have glass-bottom boats, dive boats, and you can also find the famous Christ of the Abyss offshore on the reef. They have many charters and boat tours available from the marina, as well as kayak rentals, as you can see to the right. This wooden bridge is really cool. The best parts of the park are accessible only by water. Therefore, we came prepared and brought our own inflatable paddle boards.
Every time I see you,
most of the shoreline of Key Largo is not like the rest of Florida. It's covered in a maze of mangroves, which makes it really cool to get out and explore on a paddleboard.
I love everything about you. I know you're deep, girl. We used to talk all night long. I wouldn't want to live without you.
So after paddling through a little bit of open water, we're going to get into the mangrove creeks.
How am I supposed to work? Oh, yes, she done.
Stirred up some kind of fish.
Leave me alone sometimes. I don't know if you're a jerk or number one. When your outfit is on my mind, we don't even talk anymore. You're ready for me when I walk through that door. 'Cause you keep me distracted every time I see you.
If you don't have a good sense of direction, it is very easy to get lost in here. Fortunately, you should be able to get a cell phone signal in most places to find your way out with GPS. The family's going to hang out while I go a little deeper into this creek.
Why you wanna do this to me?
This jungle of mangrove roots, as you can see below, is a perfect place for marine wildlife to find shelter and protection. They are also critical in protecting the coastlines of the Florida Keys and South Florida from erosion.
Why you wanna do this to me? Why you wanna do this to me? Why you wanna do this to me? Why you wanna do this to me?
Some of these creeks get so tight you can't even use a paddle. You just pull yourself along by the mangroves. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn around and head back to the family. Unfortunately, it's a little bit harder to turn around than I expected. and finally back to open water. Much of the paddling trails are idle speed only, but you may encounter some larger boats. With all these mangroves, there's really not a whole lot of beach areas. This is one of the few spots you can find. Let's take a dip below and see what we can find. These are parrotfish. Believe it or not, you would not have any white sand in the Florida Keys if it weren't for parrotfish consuming coral and excreting the white sandy poop. So when you're in the Florida Keys and you're walking on that white sand, you're walking on parrotfish poop. While the family hangs out on one of the few beaches available, I'm going to go take a little tour of another creek. These mangroves are full of wildlife like this ray here. Found a pretty deep spot, so I'm going to take a quick dive and cool off anyway. With the tides changing, the currents can be pretty swift sometimes in these creeks, so it's a good idea to make sure your paddleboard is secured. Before heading back, we're going to take a quick tour of the whip tunnel. Well, that was pretty cool. We're going to round up the crew and make our way back towards the landing. My oldest son and I are apparently bringing up the rear, but that's okay because we're trying to soak in every last minute. This is one of the tour boats that takes you out to the reef. As you can see, they have quite the inventory of paddleboards and kayaks available for renting, but you want to make reservations in advance. With the sun setting, it was almost time for us to wrap up our tour of John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. Hope everybody enjoyed our adventure, and if you're ever in the Florida Keys, check it out. Hey, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and follow us for more adventures from Florida.